Hi there and welcome to our go through video of the cell biology exam paper. In this video we're going to go through the cell biology exam paper and look how you can achieve full marks on it. So question 1 states muscle cells divide to form new muscle cells. Which two cell components are copied before the muscle cells start to divide? Tick two boxes. So remember, first of all, the two cell components that are copied in the cell are the mitochondria and the ribosomes, and that will give you 2 marks. Next question, why do muscle cells need to divide by mitosis and more often than most other cells? Tick one box. So let's go through the reasons. To contract the muscles. Now we have muscle cells which we have enough of to move the muscles around. To repair the muscles. Yes, this is the right one because mitosis occurs to replicate other cells and repair other cells. So remember, a group of cells makes a tissue, and then a group of tissues makes an organ, a group of organs make an organ system, and a group of organ systems make an organism. Let's have a look at the other answers. To supply more oxygen to the muscles. Remember, that's the job of red blood cells. And to transmit nerve impulses, that's the job of nerve cells. And taking that would give you 1 mark. Next question. Mitosis is part of the cell cycle. The diagram below shows the percentage of time taken by each stage of the cell cycle. Here's the diagram. The cell cycle shown in the diagram above takes 21 hours in total. Cell division takes 5% of the total time. Calculate how many hours cell division takes. So this is a calculation question. So you would do, if it takes 5% of the whole time, you would do 5 divided by 100, and there's 21 hours in total, and you would times that by 21. You would get as an answer 1.05 hours. Showing that as you're working out and getting the correct answer will give you 2 marks. Next question. What percentage of time is spent copying DNA in the cell cycle shown in the diagram above? So the diagram over here is asking what percentage of time it takes for the DNA in the cell cycle to copy. So this is the time taken over here. You would have to count through every one of these lines over here, and then you would have to work it out. So the calculation you would do here, there's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and it takes 5% of the whole time. You can tell this is 5%, so your calculation would be 5 times 7, and that gives you 35. So your percentage would be 35%, and that would give you 2 marks. Next question. A sperm cell from a dog contains 39 chromosomes. How many chromosomes are there in each dog muscle cell? So if a sperm cell contains 39 chromosomes, and we need to find out how much a normal muscle cell would contain. Remember, a sperm cell is a haploid cell, so it contains only 1 of each chromosome. A normal cell contains 2 of each chromosomes. So all we would have to do here is 39 times 2. 39 times 2 would give you 78, and that would give you 1 mark. Next question. A sperm cell fuses with an egg cell. What is the process called? Tick 1 box. So meiosis is something that happens in the human body with genetics. Respiration is nothing related to the topic. The correct answer here would be fertilization, because that's the process of sperm cell fusing with an egg cell. Ticking that would give you 1 mark. Next question. Figure 1 shows an animal cell. What is structure A? Tick 1 box. So this is a simple question. Structure A is showing the outside of the cell, and because it's an animal cell, it doesn't have a cell wall, so we know that this is going to be the cell membrane, and that will give you one mark. Okay, so next question. What is structure B? So let's scroll up. Structure B is pointing to a small ball inside the cell, and we know by looking at our options that it's gonna be the nucleus, and that will give you 1 mark. Next question. Figure 2 shows a sperm cell. Describe how a sperm cell is adapted to carry out its function. So we've looked at this in our previous videos. We have to name a function and how it's adapted to it by the sperm cell. So an example over here would be, it has this tail over here, it has this tail, and you have to give a reason. So it can swim, and you can put to the egg, and you can put mitochondria as well, because that gives it energy, but one of those reasons would give you 1 mark. Next question. Substances move into and out of cells by 3 processes. The diagram shows the concentration of different substances inside and outside a root hair cell. How would each substance move into the root hair cell? Draw 1 line from each root hair cell to the correct process. So we've discussed this in our previous videos: active transport, diffusion, and osmosis. So whenever there's water involved, whenever you see this keyword water involved, you know that it's going to be osmosis. Whenever nitrate ion is there, these are small air molecules, you know that it's going to be diffusion, as diffusion is to do with gases. Osmosis is to do with water, and active transport is to do with minerals and ions. So we know the magnesium ion would be active transport. Next question. The figure below shows a scale drawing of one type of cell in blood. Use the scale to determine the width of the cell. Give your answer to the nearest micrometer. So we know that this, you can see the scale over here. We know that this is going to be 2 micrometers, and we need to give our answer to the nearest micrometer. The simple answer to this, we would have to measure this out to the scale it's given. It would be 8 micrometers to the nearest micrometer, and you can give a reason for your answer over here, but it's not necessary as it's only 1 mark. Next question. Complete the table below. So part of the blood and the function. So what part of the blood carries oxygen around the body? It's gonna be red blood cells. Protects the body against infection. It's gonna be white blood cells. White blood cells. And the part of the blood is plasma, and the function, there are a few functions you can put, but one of the main ones are it transports proteins, and having all those 3 correct answers would give you 3 marks. Next question. Platelets are fragments of cells. Platelets help the blood to clot. Suggest what might happen if the blood did not clot. So if your blood did not clot and platelets are small fragments of cells, well, you would lose a lot of blood. So it's only 1 mark. You only need to give one reason. You could lose lots of blood. Okay, and that will give you 1 mark. Next question. The figure below shows 4 different types of cells: cell A, B, C, and D. Which cell is a plant cell? Give one reason for your answer. So this one will be the correct answer because it has a nucleus, it has the cell wall, the cell membrane, the vacuole in the middle. This doesn't have the DNA in the nucleus, so it won't be that. And these don't have any other of the organelles, so we know that this answer is going to be D. And the reasons would be that this one has a large vacuole. Other reasons could be it has chloroplasts, and so on. So having those 2 correct answers would give you your 2 marks. Next question. Which cell is an animal cell? Give one reason for your answer. So this would be cell B, because remember, animal cells don't have a cell wall and we can see the nucleus. So this would be cell B. And the reason for this, there is no cell wall. And having those 2 correct would give you your 2 marks. Which one is a prokaryotic cell? Give one reason for your answer. So we've just discussed this. Prokaryotic cells have the genetic material inside the nucleus. So this is going to be cell C because the genetic material is not held within the nucleus. So C, and the genetic material is not in the nucleus, and that will give you your 2 marks. Next question. A scientist observed a cell using an electron microscope. The size of the image was 25 millimeters. The magnification was 100 times 100,000. Calculate the real size of the cell, and we're given the equation over here. So we have to use this equation to work it out, and we have to give our answer in micrometers. So the real size would be 25 divided by 100,000, and we can use the equation to figure this out. 100,000. So our real size would be 0.00025, and having your working out and the correct answer would give you 3 marks. So next question, 5a. Living organisms are made of cells. Animal and plant cells have several parts. Each part has a different function. Draw one line from each cell part to the correct function of that part. So this is a simple question worth 3 marks. So the cell membrane controls the movement of the substances. The mitochondria is where the most energy is released, and the nucleus controls the activities of the cell. This option here is ruled out. This option over here would be the ribosomes, if there was, but for that you would get 3 marks. Next question. The diagram below shows a cell from a plant leaf. Which 2 parts of the diagram above are not found in an animal cell? So remember, an animal cell doesn't contain a cell wall or chloroplasts, because chloroplasts are there in plants to make photosynthesis occur, and that would give you 2 marks. Next question. So we're given a table and we have to use the information from the table above to complete the following sentences. So sodium ions will move into cells by the process called, it's gonna be diffusion, because remember gases move in by diffusion. Potassium ions will move into cells by a process called active transfer. So the key idea over here is that active transport moves substances from an area of lower concentration to an area of higher concentration, and that's what we can see here. There's a higher concentration inside the cells than outside the cells, and that will give you 2 marks. Next question. So some students investigated the effect of different concentrations of sugar in 4 drinks A, B, C and D on the movement of water across a partially permeable membrane. The students made 4 bags from artificial partially permeable membrane, put equal volumes of 5% sugar solution in each bag, weighed each bag containing the sugar solution, placed 1 bag in each of the drinks A, B, C and D. After 20 minutes, remove the bags containing the sugar solution and weighed them again. The diagram below shows how they set up their investigation. So the bag in drink A got heavier after 20 minutes, and we have to give an explanation why. So over here, bag A got heavier after 20 minutes. So I'm not gonna write this out, I'm gonna tell you it. So the concentration of the sugar in the bag was higher, so there was 5% sugar solution here, and the concentration is higher. The higher concentration of water which is outside the bag, or you can put the drink or the boiling tube, there it happens by osmosis. It will just get it heavier after 20 minutes because of the osmosis of water absorption. So the water is moved in by osmosis, and that will give you 3 marks. The osmosis word is key over here. Next question. In which drink A, B, C or D would you expect the bag to show the smallest change in mass? This would be B, because B has 4.2 sugar solution, and it would just be because of that it would move, it would see the smallest change because the values are close together, and that's what I've just explained over here, and having that would give you 2 marks. So question number 7 is asking you what the name of part A is. This is a simple 1 marker called the nucleus, and that will give you 1 mark. Next question, we've only got a bit left. How are most soluble food molecules absorbed into the epithelial cells of the small intestine? So remember, soluble food molecules can be absorbed by diffusion, and that will give you 1 mark. Suggest how the highly folded surface cell surface area helps epithelial cells to absorb soluble food. So because it has a large surface area means more diffusion. You would have more diffusion. That will give you 1 mark. Next question. Epithelial cells also carry out active transport. Name one substance, name one food molecule absorbed into epithelial cells by active transport. So you can have sugar or glucose. And that will give you 1 mark. Next question. So why is it necessary to absorb some food molecules by active transport? Because remember, active transport happens against the concentration gradient from an area of low concentration to higher concentration. That will give you 1 mark. Next question, our penultimate question. suggests why epithelial cells have many mitochondria. So they have many mitochondria, so because active transport requires energy, so you can put energy required energy required, and this comes from respiration. Yeah, so respiration happens in every human being, and it's essential, so that would give you 2 marks. Our final question: some plants also carry out active transport. Give one substance that plants absorb by active transport. Plants absorb minerals and ions. And you would get 1 mark for either of them. And that is the exam paper of cell biology all covered. And that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it, and one last thing, please subscribe and hit the like button.